The Old West was a land where legends were born, but it was also a place where mysteries thrived. These unsolved cases, filled with strange occurrences and unexplained events, have left historians and enthusiasts baffled for generations. Today, we're peeling back the layers of time to reveal some of the darkest and most perplexing mysteries from the Wild West, cases that remain unsolved to this day. Number 1. The bizarre disappearance of the McDowell family. The McDowell family's disappearance in 1885 from Ruby, Arizona, remains one of the most puzzling cases in the history of the American Old West. The family, consisting of Samuel McDowell, his wife Martha, and their 2 children, were prominent figures in Ruby, known for their successful silver mining operations. Samuel had acquired the mine during the silver boom, and the family quickly became well-respected members of the small, isolated community. The mine itself was a significant source of wealth, which may have made the McDowells targets for foul play. On the night of their disappearance, the McDowell household appeared as if the family had simply stepped out for a moment. The dining table was set, with uneaten meals indicating that something interrupted their dinner. Clothes were laid out neatly, and there were no signs of struggle or forced entry. The silver mine, their most valuable asset, was untouched, with all its riches intact. This perplexing scenario led to numerous theories about what might have happened to the family. One of the most prominent theories involves an attack by local Apache warriors. During this period, tensions between settlers and Native American tribes were high, often leading to violent encounters. Some believe that the McDowells were ambushed and taken away by a band of Apache warriors as a form of retaliation, or to send a message to other settlers encroaching on their land. However, this theory has been largely debated, as no evidence of a struggle or any traces of the family were ever found in the surrounding area. Another theory suggests that the family fell victim to a group of outlaws. The wealth generated by the mine could have made the McDowells a target for robbery. However, the fact that the silver remained in the mine casts doubt on this theory. If outlaws were responsible, why would they leave behind the most valuable prize? Some speculate that the family might have been coerced into hiding or even kidnapped for ransom, though no demands were ever made. A more chilling possibility is that the disappearance was orchestrated by someone close to the family. In the close-knit community of Ruby, there were whispers of business rivalries and personal grudges. Some residents speculated that a competing miner, envious of Samuel's success, could have plotted the family's disappearance. However, these rumors never led to any concrete evidence. The landscape around Ruby also presented its own dangers. The area was known for its treacherous terrain, with deep ravines and hidden caves that could easily conceal bodies or provide a refuge for those wanting to disappear. Some believe that the family may have fallen victim to an accident while exploring the area, or were perhaps trying to escape an imminent threat and perished in the unforgiving wilderness. Despite multiple searches, no trace of the McDowell family was ever found. The case was further complicated by the lack of forensic techniques available at the time, making it nearly impossible to gather evidence that could provide answers. The local sheriff, initially optimistic about solving the case, eventually had to concede that the mystery might never be unraveled. Over the years, the McDowell disappearance has become the subject of numerous legends and folklore, with some claiming to have seen ghostly apparitions of the family near the mine, forever searching for something they lost. The mine itself eventually fell into disrepair, with later owners unable to escape the shadow of the family's disappearance. To this day, the McDowell family's fate remains a mystery, with historians, treasure hunters, and enthusiasts continuing to speculate and search for clues. The case serves as a reminder of the untamed and often dangerous nature of the Old West, where even the most prosperous families could vanish without a trace, leaving behind nothing but questions and a lingering sense of unease. Number 2. The Ghost Riders of El Malpais. El Malpais located in western New Mexico, is a region with a landscape shaped by volcanic activity, characterized by vast lava flows, rugged terrain, and hidden caves. The area, whose name translates to the Badlands, has long been feared and revered by those who traveled through it. The harsh environment is notorious for its difficulty to navigate, with treacherous paths that can lead even the most experienced travelers astray. But the danger isn't just from the land itself. In the late 1800s, a series of eerie reports began to emerge, describing encounters with ghostly riders that seemed to materialize out of the mist and then vanish just as quickly. These ghost riders were typically seen at dusk, the time when the light begins to fade and the shadows stretch long across the landscape. Witnesses described the figures as being mounted on horseback, clad in uniforms reminiscent of the old military garb worn during earlier expeditions in the region. The riders were said to be silent, their horses making no sound as they traversed the rough terrain. What was particularly unsettling about these apparitions was their sudden appearance and disappearance. They would seem to emerge from the lava fields, ride for a short distance, and then vanish as if they had never been there. Local Native American tribes, particularly the Zuni and Navajo, have long held beliefs about spirits that inhabit the land. These tribes consider the area around El Malpais to be sacred, a place where the boundary between the physical world and the spiritual world is thin. According to their oral histories, these spirits are guardians of the land, protecting it from intruders and those who would disrespect it. Some believe that the ghost riders are manifestations of these ancient spirits, warning travelers to tread carefully in this sacred space. Another explanation ties the ghost riders to a historical event, the ill-fated military expedition led by a detachment of soldiers in the mid-1800s. This group was sent to explore the area and chart a route and race through the treacherous terrain. However, the expedition met with disaster. The soldiers, unfamiliar with the dangers of the region, became lost in the labyrinth of lava flows, supplies dwindled, and the harsh conditions took their toll. According to some accounts, the soldiers perished in the wilderness, their bodies never recovered. Over time, the story of their tragic fate became intertwined with the sightings of the ghost riders. Some locals believe that these apparitions are the lost souls of the soldiers, doomed to wander the land for eternity, unable to find peace. Despite the numerous sightings reported over the years, no concrete explanation has been found for the ghost riders of El Malpais. Skeptics suggest that the phenomenon could be attributed to optical illusions caused by the unique landscape and the play of light at dusk. The dark lava rock, combined with the setting sun, could create shadows and shapes that resemble riders. The region's reputation as a place of danger and mystery may also play a role, with travelers' minds more prone to interpreting natural occurrences as supernatural events. In modern times, El Malpais remains a place of intrigue and mystery. The ghost riders continue to be a topic of fascination, drawing both paranormal enthusiasts and curious travelers to the area. Whether these apparitions are spirits, the remnants of a tragic past, or simply tricks of the light, they add to the legend of El Malpais, a place where the land itself seems to breathe with the stories of those who have come before. Number 3. The mysterious death of Pearl Hart. Pearl Hart, born in 1871 as Pearl Taylor, became one of the most notorious female outlaws of the Old West, a rarity in a world dominated by male criminals. Her most famous crime occurred in 1899, when she and an accomplice, Joe Boot, robbed a stagecoach near Globe, Arizona. The robbery was notable not just for its boldness, but also because it was one of the last recorded stagecoach robberies in the American West. After their capture, Pearl was sent to the Yuma Territorial Prison, where she became something of a celebrity, both for her crime and her defiance of gender norms at the time. Hart's imprisonment was marked by controversy and intrigue. Despite being sentenced to 5 years, She was released after serving only a fraction of her sentence. The official reason given was overcrowding in the prison, but rumors circulated that her release was secured through a combination of her charm, the publicity she attracted, and possible under-the-table deals. Some speculated that influential figures might have intervened on her behalf, either out of admiration or because they feared the secrets she held. After her release, Hart largely disappeared from the public eye, but her life didn't return to obscurity. She eventually settled in Gila County, Arizona, where she tried to live a quieter life. However, the shadows of her past lingered. In 1925, Hart was found dead in her home under circumstances that were officially labeled as natural causes, yet many aspects of her death raised suspicion. Hart had made enemies during her time as an outlaw, fellow criminals who felt betrayed, lawmen who resented her notoriety, and even those she had charmed and later discarded could have harbored ill will against her. There were also rumors that Hart had knowledge of hidden loot from her robberies, or that she possessed information about more powerful figures involved in criminal activities. These factors have led some historians to speculate that her death was not as straightforward as it seemed. Adding to the mystery, the investigation into her death was cursory at best. Given her history, one would expect that her demise would attract significant attention, yet the official inquiry was minimal. This lack of thoroughness led to whispers that her death was hastily swept under the rug to prevent any deeper secrets from coming to light. Some locals believed she was poisoned, while others thought she might have been silenced to prevent her from revealing what she knew. In the years following her death, Pearl Hart's life and mysterious end have been romanticized and mythologized, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Her story has inspired countless books, articles, and even plays, each trying to piece together the puzzle of her life. The fact that so many details remain unclear only adds to her legend. Even today, Pearl Hart's death is a subject of debate among historians and Old West enthusiasts, with new theories occasionally emerging but never fully resolving the mystery. The enigmatic nature of her death, combined with her defiance of societal norms, has cemented Pearl Hart's place in the annals of Old West history. She remains a symbol of rebellion, intrigue, and the dangers of living on the edge, with her death serving as a poignant reminder that the Wild West was a place where secrets could be deadly and where the truth was often buried with the dead. Number 4. The Phantom Train of Bighorn Pass. The Phantom Train of Bighorn Pass is one of the most enigmatic and enduring legends of the American West, steeped in both tragedy and mystery. Located in the remote and rugged mountains of Wyoming, Bighorn Pass was historically a critical but treacherous route for railroads attempting to connect the eastern and western United States. The tale begins in 1872 with the catastrophic derailment of a freight train that was transporting supplies through the pass. The train, loaded with essential goods for frontier towns, mysteriously left the tracks in the dead of night, plunging into a ravine. All on board were killed instantly, and the wreckage was so severe that many of the bodies were never recovered. The tragedy was attributed to a range of possible causes, including sabotage, engineering failures, and the harsh weather conditions that made Bighorn Pass notorious. However, none of these explanations fully accounted for the strange events that began to occur shortly after the accident. Locals and travelers passing through the area started reporting the inexplicable sounds of a train whistle echoing through the mountains, followed by the eerie clatter of wheels on steel tracks. These sounds were often described as faint and distant, yet unmistakably clear in the stillness of the night. Witnesses claimed that the phantom train would appear at specific times, particularly on cold, foggy nights when visibility was low. The apparition was described as a fully formed train, its carriages illuminated by a ghostly glow, moving along tracks that no longer existed. Those who encountered the spectral train often described a chilling atmosphere, as if the temperature dropped significantly in its presence. The train would travel a short distance before vanishing into thin air, leaving behind only the echo of its whistle and the unsettling feeling of having witnessed something beyond the ordinary. There are numerous theories about the origins of the phantom train. One of the most prevalent is that it is the manifestation of the souls of those who died in the 1872 derailment, unable to find peace and destined to repeat their final journey for eternity. Some locals believe that the train appears as a warning of impending danger, particularly to those who dare to venture into the past during harsh weather conditions. This belief is supported by accounts of near accidents avoided by those who heeded the phantom's appearance as a sign to turn back. Skeptics argue that the sightings and sounds can be explained by natural phenomena. The mountainous terrain of Bighorn Pass is known for its unique acoustics, which can cause sounds to travel long distances and create echoes that are difficult to trace to their source. The phantom train's appearance, they suggest, could be a combination of atmospheric conditions, including fog and low light, that cause optical illusions. Despite these explanations, the legend of the phantom train persists, with sightings continuing into the 20th and even the 21st centuries. Adding to the mystery are reports of physical evidence left behind after sightings. Some travelers claim to have found inexplicable marks on the ground where the train was seen, resembling the tracks of a heavy vehicle. Others report a lingering scent of burning coal in the air, despite there being no operational trains in the area for decades. These tangible clues deepen the intrigue as they suggest that the phenomenon is not merely a product of the imagination. The phantom train of Bighorn Pass has become a symbol of the unexplained mysteries of the Wild West, a region where the line between reality and the supernatural often blurred. It serves as a reminder of the perils faced by those who sought to tame the frontier and the many lives lost in the pursuit of progress. Whether the train is a ghostly remnant of a tragic past or a figment of local folklore, it continues to capture the imagination of those who hear its tale. Number 5. The Curse of the Lost Dutchman's Mine. The Lost Dutchman's Mine, hidden somewhere in Arizona's Superstition Mountains, is one of the most famous and enduring legends of the American West. Jacob Waltz, a German immigrant, is said to have discovered the mine in the late 19th century. Waltz reportedly found a rich vein of gold so valuable that it could make anyone who found it immensely wealthy. However, he guarded its location fiercely, sharing the secret with only a few trusted confidants. Waltz passed away in 1891, taking the precise coordinates of the mine with him, thus igniting one of the greatest treasure hunts in history. The story of the Lost Dutchman's Mine is intertwined with various tales of curses and mysterious deaths. Many believe that the mine is protected by ancient spirits, possibly those of the Apache tribe, who have long considered the Superstition Mountains to be sacred. According to some Native American legends, the mountains are a portal to the underworld, and disturbing the land could unleash malevolent forces. The idea that the mine is cursed gained traction as treasure hunters who ventured into the mountains began to experience unexplained accidents, sudden illnesses, and in some cases, simply vanished without a trace. One of the most infamous incidents involved a man named Adolph Ruth, who in 1931 embarked on an expedition to find the Lost Dutchman's Mine. Ruth had obtained a map from a Mexican family who claimed it was passed down from ancestors who had known Waltz. Ruth was determined to find the mine, but he disappeared shortly after beginning his search. His skull, with 2 bullet holes in it, was found 6 months later, miles from where he had been searching. His death was officially attributed to dehydration, but many believe he was murdered by someone trying to protect the mine's secrets or to steal the map. Ruth's disappearance and the mysterious circumstances of his death only fueled the legend of the mine's deadly curse. In addition to Ruth's case, there have been numerous reports of other searchers who have met grim fates while pursuing the Lost Dutchman's treasure. Some have fallen from cliffs, others have been found dead in remote canyons, and many more have returned empty-handed, often recounting strange experiences like disorienting visions, unexplained injuries, and feelings of being watched. These stories have contributed to the belief that the mine is not only elusive, but also fiercely protected by forces beyond human understanding. Despite these ominous warnings, the legend of the lost Dutchman's mine continues to lure adventurers. Modern technology, including satellite imaging and advanced geological surveys, has been employed to locate the mine, but no definitive evidence has been found. The Superstition Mountains are a vast and treacherous area, full of dangerous wildlife, steep cliffs, and unpredictable weather, which adds to the difficulty of any search. Some theorists suggest that the mine may have been sealed by a landslide, while others believe it never existed at all, that Waltz's story was a fabrication or an exaggerated tale that took on a life of its own. The curse of the lost Dutchman's mine is a powerful part of its lore. Whether the mine is real or merely a legend, the stories of those who have sought it and the mysterious circumstances of their deaths continue to captivate the imagination. The allure of untold riches hidden somewhere in the unforgiving wilderness remains a potent draw, even as the dangers and the history of tragedy surrounding the search grow with each passing year. The lost Dutchman's mine stands as a symbol of the eternal human quest for wealth and the lengths to which people will go to achieve it, no matter the risks involved.